Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another night of Fire Esports Rocket League. We've got a good one for you tonight. I'm Austin. With me, as always, to my left is Finn Barry. Finn, how you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, Austin. It's been a week since we've
1
done
week.
some Rocket League. It has been a week of storms, tornadoes, and our prayers go out to everyone who is, of course, in the midst of flooding. Jazz, if you've got sharks in your backyard, don't go and pet them. Trust me, they don't really enjoy it.
So
But,
tonight,
yeah, I was about to say, regardless of that.
So tonight, though, we have a good game. The 2-0 Rochester Institute of Technology is going to be going up against our very own Southeastern University Fire, who, if you've been watching our season so far, is currently sitting at 1-1. So already, you never want to say week 3 that this is like a must-win or a need-to-win matchup. But, SEU going up against an undefeated team so far, they love to walk away with a win here. Who wouldn't?
No, I mean, let's face it, any win is a win, right?
Right,
And
absolutely.
winning gives you momentum. It helps your mental state, helps you going forward. You're like, wow, you know what? That was great. We could do it again. And winning against a currently undefeated team in a league is massive.
Right.
Right? It feels so good to win against an undefeated team because that means you bested where others could not.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So in just a little bit, we're going to take a second to meet the players and really analyze this roster that we have on the Fire. But before we do that, I'm excited because I'm not joined alone. I have with me my HTO lemonade. You might say, why am I drinking lemonade at HTO? But, I've always been a lemonade guy. So here, I just went with the pink lemonade, but HTO has all sorts of selections, whether it be tea, lemonade, or even a few snacks. You can mix and match tea choices for a really great drink. I know I've been enjoying this pink lemonade, so we want to say a big thank you to HTO for sponsoring Fire Esports. Finn, if you want to get some HTO, where do you go?
You go straight on down to South Florida Avenue. It's right by Andy's and Fuzzy's Tacos, as well as the bowling alley. If you're an SEU student, I'm sure you've been to at least one of those places.
It's really good.
It's really good. It's right
stuff.
across the street from the bowling alley, like I said, right near Fuzzy's. And I just want to say, it's definitely a place to go. I think their lemonade is honestly some of the best.
Like I said,
It does
I have been enjoying
It does only come in pink, so if you're somehow impartial pink lemonade because you don't like the taste, I get it. Some of us like the OG lemonade, but pink lemonade still cannot be beaten.
So with that being said, HTO, thank you so much. We are so excited to have you as our sponsor. But now let's focus on tonight's matchup, but more importantly, tonight's players.
Yeah, and we've talked a whole lot about these players. Obviously, as we've talked about before, Yanni and Jason, we've been watching for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Play throughout games. Winston, we've been watching for over the past year here. And, we've got our different nicknames. Jason the Stud Muffin, right, which of course is just using Big Yawn for his defensive capability. And of course, Winston being the Maverick for his high-flying antics. And I think, honestly, those high-flying antics combined with just this more aggressive attitude the team has been pushing towards is exactly what the team has needed. And, this is kind of repeating ourselves from the past couple weeks as well. We've made this statement over and over and over again. But when you hear something repeated, it's usually important. And to that point, this team going in this week, I know I talked with Jason a bit on the way over here, and he was like, honestly, I'm ready to get into this game. Feeling good. We lost last week, but it went to game 5. It was just some misplays here and there, and we got this week. We had, a big break over. They had time to improve or relax, kind of take it easy during the hurricane, and now back and ready to win.
Yeah, SEU, coming out of that loss, it's really just about starting fresh on the week, getting back at it, getting to practice. And we've seen these guys. I don't think, this is a very resilient group of guys, just both emotionally and mentally. The fact that they were able to lose last week and still come into this game with, high spirits and say, listen, we're still 1-1. We're 500 right now. We can come in this week. We can maintain or regain that winning record. So coming into this game against Rochester, even though we're going up against this 2-0 team, I think SEU should be and is feeling very confident about their chances. Like you just said, Finn, last week, and here we go, the graphic of our team right now. Last week wasn't a blowout. It wasn't an ugly game. Southeastern University stayed in it through every match, and that's something that you love to see from these guys is they fight the whole way through. And I'm sure we're going to see a good fight tonight between these two teams. So we talked about these guys. We talked about these players. You said Yanni. You talked about Jason. Winston. I mean, Winston, here's a guy now who we've seen him, sort of grow up within this program, build his way up, starting off. We saw him come to tryouts, start off at, the white team and move his way up to now the varsity team. He's really proved a lot over these past few weeks that he's not the new guy now. He's the veteran. Love to see him here practicing with the other guys. You put up the graphic. Also, let's talk about this graphics department. SEU Fire Esports definitely upping its game, and we're glad if you're tuning in right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Jidi. We appreciate you for making the graphics. Person. It's extremely great to have our graphics where it's just simple as the nameplates, the player banner.
Right.
We're getting it up. We got a lot more things in the works here. So there is so much to look forward to that's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an ad. Yeah, it's an ad.
I was like...
But, and I mean, again, just looking at our players here, going through each of them, we got Yanni and Jason are kind of coming towards the end of their career time here at SEU, and then Winston, who's new. And that really begs another question, Austin. Winston has so much to carry over into the next generation of players coming through, right? There's so much that he's learned from practicing with this team that he gets to take forward into the next group of freshmen that come in, and so on and so forth for the next couple years he's here. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested to see if his playstyle will change.
Yeah. I mean, SEU Rocket League, and really what can be said about all of these teams here at SEU, is it's an organization where we try to build teams that are built to last. Mm-hmm. We try to just continually bring in new players, new talent, and just have these older guys, the way it works with any sport, have the older guys, the veterans, be mentoring the younger players, be bringing them up to their level. We saw that with what Jason and Yanni have done with Winston over the past year, and now pretty soon, with Jason and Yanni graduating, it's going to be Winston's opportunity to take some of these younger players. And, there's also still Jacob, mm-hmm. Who's been with the team for a while. So, you've got these players now who can, who can move up into this leadership position, which, they haven't been able to really step up into yet. But, next semester is right around the corner, and these guys aren't going to be here forever. We'll see the same thing with our Overwatch team. It looks like there's some shenanigans going on over there with our players, but
Winston's staring me down, dude.
Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, a team that's built to last, I don't think that SEU Rocket League is going to have any reason to worry about its future. I think there's a lot of really good up and coming players. And like you just said, it's the same thing with our Overwatch team. You got guys like Nathan, like Nadian, mm-hmm. who's been here since the start of the team, who, graduation time is coming pretty soon for him. So you're going to have, and same with John, same with Mako. So are you okay, Finn?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just, Are
you okay?
No, I'm
not very professional.
No, I'm having some fun with Jason here.
So here we go. Looks like we just got the invitation.
Got our invite. They care about us. But honestly, one thing I want to point out here too is going into this, and we've talked a lot about how they are changing to that aggressive mindset, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's been such a process to get out of the defense. And overall, they are still a very defensive-oriented team here. But that process, while slow, just seeing the improvements it's already made has been really cool. Yeah. Coming into this new season.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to pick a niche. You got to pick. You got to decide what you want to be. Do you want to be an offensive-minded team, or do you want to be a defensive-minded team? Because if you don't make a decision there, you risk compromising just being able to do neither. Do you want to be an aggressive team? Do you want to be a conservative team? If you just do in the middle, you're going to be giving up points, and you're probably not going to be scoring much. You got to decide what you want to do. And I feel like right now where we're at the first few weeks is SEU still sort of flirting with that line and sort of going back and forth between like coming out super aggressive, more shifting to a conservative stance. So, it's week 3 now. Maybe we'll see more of that decision being made.
Yeah. And I think we saw a lot of that sort of indecisiveness last week that you and I have talked about before, where we saw moments where they were going out and they were being aggressive, but then they were not aggressive enough. right? They were just slightly out of position to be defensive, but then because of that, they didn't get a goal, or they weren't defensive enough, and so we saw a goal get through because they weren't in position. And then, of course, one thing that I know we talked about before is boost management. Right, boost management, I know for a fact all these players do a great job at it, but you can always improve and always improve, because I would say, jogging my memory here, at least 3 of the goals last week were due to the fact that one of our players did not have
any boost. Yeah, boost
to make
boost
it
starved.
to
Yeah,
the goal.
no, you would be right in that. But here we go. It looks like we're getting into game 1. And if you're new to the stream, if you're new to Fire Rocket League or NACE Rocket League in general, just a reminder of how this is going to work. As always, it is a best of 5 series. So we are going to be playing 5 5-minute matches with the exception of overtime. As soon as one of these teams hits 3 wins, that is the game. Best of 5. So here we go. Hopping into this first best of 5 series. It looks like we're just waiting for all of the players to get in there, get in the arena, get in the map per se. But
get ready to go.
We'll be getting started.
I always think of, like, when it comes to the process of Rocket League and like getting ready, right? I feel like it's gotta be a lot like a race in terms of if you're getting in the car and stuff. But speaking of getting in the cars are going and the ball is off. As RIT here going to be taking the defense right off the bat.
And here we go. SEU is going to be wearing blue, where Rochester is going to be in orange. So if you're trying to keep track of the action, just a reminder: SEU is blue, Rochester is orange, and SEU going to try to get something done on offense. As Yanni attacking that corner to set something up, not going to happen. But it's going to stay, and JTSM.
That's actually really nice.
Vindigo now, and Vindigo with a nice shot, but Tomato. But, and there you go. It won't matter. Vindigo wasn't able to score, but was able to set something up for Yanni. And, yeah, he just took it up. Faked a guy out. Tomato was there for the block, but Yanni was the 3rd man back, and he was able to get the goal pretty easily.
I got to say, going off of our conversation about positioning being a little whack, that's exactly the thing that they need to be doing. That's the opposite of what we were just talking about, where they were in the right position to keep being aggressive. Yanni was in the perfect spot to counteract that block from Tomato, and there was just nothing you could do about it.
So here we go. Now Rochester going to have a chance on offense, going to see what they can do. Not much to start, as Yanni is going to be able to almost get a clear, but it's going to be a 50-50 ball. Vindigo is going to attack, gets by a man, but can't get by a second car. Harry going to pursue the ball.
Harry
gets a nice boost pick up there.
Yeah, he steals the boost from Jason there, but Yanni, of course, is just in a great position to get up. Jason grabs his boost eventually as a reset.
And that's going to be a goal for Tomato. We'll see what happened there. SEU a little bit scrambled on defense as JTSM maybe trying to... I don't know what he was doing there, but Yanni was...
I was going to say, he got his boost, right? And then he went to go and block the ball, but Tomato hit it farther to the right than he anticipated. He wasn't expecting him to go for a shot. He was expecting a setup. He didn't realize that no one was really in goal there.
Yeah,
and Yanni just not able to...
Vindigo was in the area. He didn't have an angle on it, and Yanni just couldn't get there in time. He had the boost, but the ball just a bit too fast, a bit too quick.
Tomato here with the little strawberry on his head is going to be going forward. Bounces off the side here. Here comes Naratic, and unfortunately for Rochester, not going to be a goal here as Yanni tap in off the side, passes it to Vindigo. Here comes Harry once again. Harry is the point man, right, at this point, and we see Tomato being this kind of all-arounder. Naratic has struck me, from what little footage I've seen of them, as very much the Winston of the group. He's the one that will go up in the air and do all these things. Whereas Tomato...
I don't know, Harry just went up there.
Yeah, but just, like, if I'm comparing.
Okay,
right,
sure.
I'm gonna put Naratic, like Winston. Tomato is a lot like Yanni, and then, of course, that leaves Harry.
I don't know. I don't know if within the first 3 minutes I'm gonna draw direct comparisons. I also think that, like, all these players sort of play differently. I don't think that every team is sort of a replica of each other, but...
100%.
Here we go now. And you know, I'm not sure about that Yanni. Maybe a little miscommunication. Yanni was there to maybe take a shot, but it got batted away by his own teammate. We'll have to go back and look at that later, as JTSM gonna try to attack, but it's just gonna be a clear from Yanni over there. And now Jason.
That's up in the air. Not going to make anything out of it here. But we see both of these teams right now in this stalemate 1-1 as we pass the 2-minute mark, right? They're both playing in a very conservative way, right? We're not seeing anything crazy. We're not seeing these shots. Both teams are just like, okay, we just need one.
Okay, hold on. There's a one-on-one situation here, and it's going to go in as Naratic gets the goal on Yanni. You don't see that happen a lot if you're Yanni. Not too many people can get by him in the goal, but Yanni just didn't play it very well, and Naratic able to get the goal, going up 1 point, setting the score at 1-2. So here you go now. Southeastern University and Rochester both having points on the board. A minute and a half to go. We'll see how Rochester chooses to play this, but Vindigo gonna go up for it. Tries to get something done, but and now Yanni has to get back to the ball. He's not going to, and SEU maybe getting just a little bit too aggressive there. You had all three guys back there. Jason, Vindigo was trying to set something up for Yanni, not Yanni, Jason, excuse me. But just nothing there. All three guys playing defense, and it just took one big clear. Get too aggressive for points, and nobody's back there on SEU's side of the ball. So now all of a sudden, what was once a close game, starting to get a little bit ugly. SEU, obviously this game's not over. SEU still has plenty of time to put up some points, but they've got to do so pretty quickly here.
Again, it was just unfortunate timing where Jason went for a
Oh, here we go, though.
shot.
Yanni had a shot at it, and now Vindigo is going to take a turn. But passes it off to Jason.
He had a straight shot, and we just saw Naratic pick it up, hit it back, and no one was ready for it.
Yeah, and Rochester right now playing a really strong defense, putting all three guys back in the goal, and no need to do anything else right now. You're up 2, Yanni with a save, but if they want a chance to win this game, they're gonna have to get something on offense within these next 10 or a few seconds.
Yeah, and
but no, instead Naratic's gonna score on a really pretty goal. We'll look a little bit closer here on the replay as Harry, you like to attack those corners, and Harry did just that.
Yeah, and when you watch that too, it was, let's just say, that's setup 101, right? Like, you watch that and you go, yeah, this is the setup. And you see it come in, you see it come from the side, and even if you're ready for it, it's,
And here we go now. This is starting to get a little ugly.
I think SEU has most likely decided here, like, hey, we shake it off. This is game 1.
Yeah.
It's still incredibly easy to win this whole series.
Yeah, obviously, at this point, they're probably just playing with the attitude of this game's over and stuff like that. Let's just get out of here. Start game 2, clean slate 0-0. But, as much as this game is over, you'd like to see them play it through with heart, just to keep that mindset, But here we go now with 20 seconds left. SEU gonna have to go back to the drawing board. And they're going to be a quick goal by Jason. If anything, it'll add to his stat line for the night.
I'm honestly surprised that went in. I think that was a misread from, who was that, Harry, right?
Yeah, he just read the ball poorly.
Yeah, Tomato just read the ball a little bit off there.
So, 15 seconds, crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. 3 goals, that's, 1 every 5 seconds. It's possible.
And here we go.
Unlikely, but possible here. As it is going to be the clear from Rochester here. SEU just looking to kind of play down the clock here as well, which is perfectly fine. Again, they're kind of going next here, is the idea, right?
There you go.
So there's the little spike down.
Rochester Institute of Technology going to take game 1. If we look at the stat line, not a lot of shots on goal for SEU. I mean, six to seven shots. So actually pretty even. I think RIT just a lot more tactical, I would say is the word. With their shots on goal, they were a lot more precise on offense.
The other thing too is, while their setup shots were good, a lot of those goals came from just SU not being at the net, or just the position was off.
Right.
So especially that one where it went from Rochester's side to SEU's side was just unfortunate timing.
I was gonna say, you don't want to call anybody out, but I think right now you look at 2 of those goals. Yanni was in a position to make 2 saves, which obviously 5-2. You don't know what's gonna happen if those 2 saves are made. But for a guy who we talk about him all the time as like the cornerstone of this defense, Yanni just really needs to make those saves. I'm thinking specifically, I believe it was the second and
the
third
one where
goal.
he hit the sidewall.
Yeah, the sidewall, and then there was another one earlier on where he just didn't get back fast enough. He had the boost, but he just wasn't quick enough on his rotation.
Yeah, that was the one right after.
Yeah, so
well.
again, you don't know what would have happened, but I think a good start is by making those saves. And you don't want to point any fingers. I'm sure this team right now thinking about how they as a whole can improve. But that's a start, is by just tightening up on defense.
Oh my god.
But that's not the way you want to tighten up on defense, as Naratic scores what I believe is his 3rd goal of the night.
The funny part is that I was still invested in your conversation. Oh,
And there,
no.
that was Yanni too,
That
chipping
was
it in. And then Yanni came off the tip from Yanni, and then Jason and Vindigo both, they look like they're AFK, to be honest with you. Like
I honestly, again, and that's the second goal.
Oh, and here we go.
That's the second goal we've seen from Rochester. Where it was just bad timing.
Yeah.
Right? It was just the stars kind of aligned. And I'm not saying they didn't do anything for it, don't get me wrong. But it was just that perfect positioning just happened to be there where he happened to hit that certain way and it helped him out.
I think all the Fire players definitely taken by surprise on that one.
Yeah,
and
that one's going in.
Naratic now just on fire, ironically, as they're on this Fire defense.
Just, oh, look at that. That was such a good pass.
Yeah, the Fire defense getting torched for how the
how
the tables have turned.
Austin, you're really burning through these puns here, buddy.
But anyway, with that being said, I think what's most important for SEU after 2 quick goals in this game is just staying in it. You know, not getting discouraged, because what happens is, you know, I know better than anybody. You know, you get in a game, you get really upset, you get really mad at yourself. A lot of times that emotion can just lead to sloppy gameplay. And if you're SEU, especially in Rocket League, you don't want to see sloppy gameplay. And that's a nice shot by Yanni.
I gotta say, hold on.
And that was a fake right there.
Yeah, take a look at this. This is fantastic here.
Yeah, Vindigo faked it like he was going to shoot it in.
And so he delayed it a little bit so he would go back. Notice how Naratic turned. And, oh, that's exactly what they needed here.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a conversation there, or if, you know, that was all on Winston just saying, I'm just going to go for the fake. Or even if that was by mistake, if Winston just overplayed or underplayed the ball. I'd love to do it, like, inside the mind of these players.
I think we interview Winston today.
Yeah, maybe we interview Winston after the game. But that was a nice shot by Yanni. A nice heads-up play by Winston there. And I just said, you want to keep this game close. You want to stay in it. You don't want to get discouraged. You want to stay precise. And SEU doing just that, bringing this game within a point.
Oh, wait, that's a nice setup.
It is a nice setup. Unfortunately, it's going to be blocked by Jason trying to take it himself. And Tomatoes there.
I think now SEU's realized a lot of their goals, just really quick, have come from a hit that they weren't expecting to come. Right, and so now they're playing it a lot differently, and they're going for these weird plays that seem out of nowhere, right? Stuff like that where they head off the wall a second time to avoid that getting shot straight back. But back to your point.
You know, we've talked about, you know, we can talk about Yanni and Winston all night, but, you know, Jason, JTSM, you know, he's just been flying all over the field tonight. You know, like, just his boost management and his speed and just the pace at which he's played tonight in these first 2.5 games has been pretty impressive. Like, every time, you know, you see the ball, you see a play, I feel like he's always in on the action. He's always there for it. But he wasn't there for that one.
I was about to say, he's not going to be there for that one, buddy. As Harry getting his first goal of the night.
Yeah, a nice setup. I think I've said this before during our cast. If you don't see a shot, if you don't see a path to the goal,
make your own.
Well, no. I mean, sure. If you don't see a path to the goal, blaze a path for your teammate. You know, set something up, hit something off of a wall, hit it off of the goal box, and, you know, it hit off the right side of it. He's probably trying to get a shot in, but it set it up perfectly for his teammate. And now SEU down 2 yet again.
Yep. Definitely more manageable. Over 2 minutes on the clock.
Oh, and that's a beautiful shot
and that's still
by Yanni. And Yanni, tired of giving up all these points, saying, I'm going to score some of my own. And a really, that's a bullet right there. That's a missile, as per the animation. So
really
here
quick,
we go
ladies
now.
and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in, is SU in the blue, Rochester Institute of Technology in the orange.
The Maverick.
And currently,
trying to
as
set
the
something
Maverick goes up, SU down 1-0.
Yeah, and you know, this is a dangerous spot. And
yeah,
we figured this was gonna be a goal, but You know, as we look at this, it looks like Harry.
It just, ooh,
And he
that's
just
never good.
boops Jason out of the way, and nobody else back there. This is a tough space to be in. I think for SEU, the last thing you want is to go down 0-2 in this series. You know, having to dig yourself out of a hole is always a struggle, but even more against a 2-0 team, you know, who hasn't made a lot of mistakes tonight. You'd love to be able to tie the series up. Still a lot of time to do it, but I feel like 2-0, 0-2,
Nice
I should
knock
say,
over
is a
there.
nightmare scenario to start off the series.
Yeah. I gotta say, as we just saw Harry there hit Vindigo, that was fantastic. That's exactly what needed to happen for Rochester to avoid a goal there on SEU's side.
Yeah.
But speaking of SEU's side, the ball over on their side of the map, it's going to be cleared by Jan here. Tomato is going to double back for it as Neritic gets ready for the setup from Harry. Tomato's going in.
That was just pretty.
Just by the book.
That was pretty, but you know, I'm gonna be honest. That, like, a lot of these plays we've seen, they're pretty, but they're not really that complicated. It's it's just standard Rocket League. You know, our guys, you know, you'd love to see them be back there in the goal. Maybe it's just miscommunication on who needs to be there, but somebody should have been. And unfortunately, that's going to put this game almost out of reach for SEU.
Yeah, 3 goals down. Over a minute on the clock, though, as we just passed minute 15 here. So SEU, it is still possible.
Yeah, demolition there.
Goals. The demo comes through from Vindigo onto Tomato here. Is now Yanni running with the ball, but Harry is there. Here comes Tomato again. He's the man that gets the setups here.
Yeah, so, you know, speaking
demo.
of setups, you know, you look at SEU and what they've done tonight, and they
Oh.
really haven't played that badly on offense, but it's sort of the problem of Yanni scored both of these goals tonight, and he can't do it all himself. You're going to need the team to help out a little bit more with the setup, and that's a nice play there that might be able to set up a goal depending on how fast the rest of the team can get there.
Actually, no, it's a bit too high, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I was going to say that would be
sure.
good, but it was too high. And while that's still good, you can make something out of that. Unfortunately, SEU not in a position for that here. Is Vindigo going to be doing away as we get a
little bit of a lag, obviously, with the hurricane coming through this past week. Our internet is not immune to the struggles that this campus has been having recently with their connection.
As Harry going to be batting the ball away here, and unfortunately for SEU, that's going to be game number 2 in the hands of Rochester here.
Yeah.
But reverse sweep.
Yeah,
phrase.
It can always happen. Like I said, this isn't a position that SEU would like to find themselves in. This isn't a position anyone would like to find themselves in, down 0-2 against a 2-0 team. But anything can happen. We've seen crazier. I think right now, though, as we head into this potentially final game, you really got to consider, you know what SEU's doing wrong, what changes they need to make. Really been getting played sort of on both sides of the ball. But like you said, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm kind of sad, not only because our home team is 0-2 right now in the series, but also because my HTO is almost gone. So with that being said, Finn, if your HTO ever runs out, there's still a lot to do in Lakeland, which brings us to our next sponsor tonight, Finn. I'll let you talk about our second sponsor.
None other, ladies and gentlemen, than the Rec Room, located right in downtown Lakeland, Florida, right across from the parking garage.
Yeah,
there. It's about 5 minutes away from school.
Downtown Lakeland, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say?
Downtown Florida. I mean, technically,
it is a downtown in Florida. But anyways, it is the place to go if you really just want a place to go and relax. You've got Mario Kart, you've got consoles. I can't believe I said that.
I'm just picturing someone like the Rec Room. Let me check it out. Downtown Florida on Google Maps.
Downtown Lakeland, Florida. That's what I was trying to say. But it's a place to go. They got good food, good drinks,
good games.
Good games. Place to go if you want to have some fun. They've even got the little basketball shoot hoop thing.
Yeah,
that you have
it's a lot of fun. So here we go now, though. Potentially the final game, and a shot by Jason just barely blocked by Tomato. And Tomato has had a nice night for this team, and I feel like this team, Rochester, all of them have sort of shared in the wealth. I feel like this is a team that's really combined for a lot of points.
Yeah, and honestly, again, we've seen a lot of coordination from Rochester here. There's a reason they are 2-0. They're a very coordinated team, right? When looking at them as a whole, too, it's really cool to see how
here we go.
much they're communicating.
Yeah.
right? Just looking at, obviously we can't hear anything that they're saying, but when you look at it, it's so evident that the communication is there, and it's fantastic to watch. And speaking of communication, the setup is almost there, but Vindigo gets above Neritic. So unfortunately, their planned shove does not work as Yanni hits it away. Jason goes after the ball here. Tomato knocks it away. Yanni up for the duel here is going to be winning it out in the end. Bounces off the wall, so Vindigo can clear it.
Yeah.
Now get back to the 50, but Harry says no to that. Brings on back.
Yeah, you know, when you're in a you know, 3 players on your team, you're in a what is it, triples. In Rocket League, trios, triples, threes in Rocket League. I feel like it's sort of interesting because not only do you have to have good mechanics, but you have to have good teamwork. You know, Rocket League really the union of mechanics and coordination.
Nice.
I feel like for SEU, just really that coordination aspect is what they need to work on going forward. But
wait.
Here we go, though. You know, this game still isn't over. I talk like it's over. There's still a lot of talent on this SEU team, and there's still a lot of time left on this clock. So, still a whole game to be played with 3 minutes remaining. 0-0. SEU definitely tightening up their defense in these first 2 minutes. I mean, at this point during the last game, they had about 3 points scored and a wide open goal. Yanni now gonna bring SEU up 1.
The best part, too, is that is so similar to what we saw Rochester do for their third goal last game.
Well, you know, Vindigo
off the side, coming back
Vindigo
around.
took a shot at it, but then Rochester just overcommitted on the save, leading a wide open goal. Yanni was back there, and he just probably the easiest goal Yanni's gonna get in his career. But there you go. Now SEU holding the first lead since the very first game of the series. Let's see if they can maintain it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think SEU. This is one thing you and I have talked about as well. Not so much in the cast, but just on our off time, is their mental game. Their mental game is great. You know, we've seen it improve a whole lot over the years.
2 guys going up for that one.
That's actually a really good setup.
Oh, and what a shot by Yanni. Yanni has been an offensive fire. What is it? Offensive fire.
Fireball?
Fireball. I mean, I was gonna
Fire blast.
Offensive powerhouse. Let's say that. I was looking for the right word.
Like a fire pun.
I was looking for a fire pun, but you know.
Blaze.
I was looking for a fire
fire.
pun, but it, you know, they put it out before I could figure out what I was gonna do. So it got put out. So
yeah.
we'll stick with powerhouse. But yeah, Yanni, we talk all about the defense as now it's gonna be Tomato's turn to score, but. As we see this, just another setup. Nice setup by Harry. Bounces it off the wall. Pretty, you know, bang, bang play. But we talk about Yanni so much on defense. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for his offense. You know, he's... Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen his offensive talents tonight.
Right.
You know, he has scored a lot of goals tonight, whether it be through setup or just being there at the right time. Yanni, speaking of defense, though.
You know, I feel like for SEU, right now... You know, I'm not the coach. That's a scary place to be in if you're Jason, but he played it beautifully. You know, I'm not the coach. I'm not these players, but I feel like right now, if I'm them, I'm just playing completely defensive, completely conservative, right? You know,
they just have to run down the clock.
These guys have played pretty well on defense. Rochester has. Rochester has also played, you know, not given up a lot of points to SEU, so I would just be content with the 1-point lead. You haven't had a lead a lot. And now with a minute and a half left, just play defense. Just play safe. You know, don't get boost starved. Just have guys back there. You see, I think it's Vindigo. No, it's Jason,
it's Jason
back in the goal that time. But just be smart with your rotations. You don't need another point here. You don't need to get aggressive.
Oh,
just
that was great.
Take your lead and get out of here. So.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, though. From
Jason,
SEU,
no.
right? If I know SEU, specifically the
1
players,
minute remaining.
they will continue to do their best.
Yeah,
even if it's on offense.
And you know, as I talked all about defense, they are going to try to extend that lead.
There's a demo, though.
Demolition, though. This could be dangerous, but Yanni going to play keep away for a bit.
Look at how much he kept the ball there, though, in just those couple of seconds. Right, just keeping it in that one spot, so they had to come up for it, and then he had Vindigo there to block them when they tried to go for it.
Yeah,
they're playing time.
I talked for that was a little scary, wide open goal, but I talked for a long time about SEU and how they should have been playing defense, but right now they've been doing a really good job of keeping that ball on the other side of the field up until now, though, with 18 seconds.
Here we go.
We'll see. This is it.
Demo. on a Tomato to ruin the setup that they
Okay,
were going
Jason.
for. Tomato, though, he's back up. But Vindigo.
Nice save by Vindigo.
And put it down enough, too.
You just want a
4,
big clear
3,
here. Just let the ball hit the
2,
ground.
1.
Nothing stupid.
And as the ball gets ready to hit the
There
ground,
you go.
There it is.
Southeastern University.
I won't lie, I was kind of holding my breath there.
Yeah, I was a little scared, but Southeastern University gonna pull off a win.
Only 5
At
shots.
least they're going to avoid being swept. Right now, they're able to escape, bringing this series to 2-1. That was a close game. That was a very, it was a big improvement by SEU. And, I want to talk here for a minute. Rochester, we haven't seen what they look like after a loss in a match. We haven't, right now, the past 2 matches, they've been coming out with wins. This time they have a loss. So we'll see what adjustments they make. We'll see if they get rattled a bit, if they leave that door open for SEU, possibly to make what would be a huge comeback for them. So now we come to game 4, and are we going to see 2 back-to-back game 5s? Obviously, last week it was game 5. This time, we'll see how this one plays out. I'm excited.
I think some really cool, too, just kind of look at the stat line, right, is in every game, the shots on goal have been so close.
Yeah.
These past 2 games in particular have been 1 goal off.
Right.
In
You're looking
terms
at
of
the
the
stat
difference.
line here.
I will say both times Rochester has been the one that's 1 goal up, right, in both last game and this game here. But the really interesting part is that it is so close. That means, again, much like we talked about last time, is it good defense or is it bad offense? And I would say good defense is the call.
Okay, so SU going to lose the kickoff, but they are going to get a nice clear. And, Yanni has been the point leader tonight. We'll see if he continues that dominance tonight in this match.
And interesting thing, too, just speaking of dominance, right? As soon as that kickoff went, SU did not let off the break. They went straight in, but Tomato going to get a shot.
That
Jason
wasn't going to go in either way, I don't think.
No,
but...
I think it could have if it hit the sidebar right. The game said it was a shot. So
but the game says a lot is a shot.
It does.
Okay, Vindigo just trying to
get it up in the air, trying to get control of the ball's momentum here. Is Tomato knocking it away?
Yeah,
Yanni,
so SU there in a little bit of a scary spot. I feel like you can sort of tell, even if you don't know a ton about Rocket League, you can sort of tell when the team is a little bit lost on defense, when they're kind of a little bit scrambled and mixed up. That's when, and it looked like Jason was back there trying to, or not Jason, Vindigo was back there trying to get a boop or something, wasn't able to, but yeah, you can sort of tell when the team is maybe looking a little bit disorganized on defense. Little rattled. It was a nice job there just a few plays ago for them to just take a deep breath, just play smart, and get the ball to the other side of the field. And now they've had it on offense for the past few seconds. And as I say that, it goes back to the other side of the field.
Oh!
Luckily, Jason was there, and already big improvements on defense. I mean that's normally where you'd see a goal for Rochester.
Yes.
In the past. So far, like that had been the theme of the night is, guys missing saves and then nobody else being back as
That's
backup.
good. Interesting. Winston.
Okay, Yanni though.
Vindigo's got it. Oh,
Yanni's got it.
That was beautiful.
And Jason hyped after that play.
Dude, I won't lie. Winston faked me out twice that play. I thought he could get it down enough that first time to get goal. He didn't get enough. He didn't get enough push on that side one, and Yanni came in.
And I don't know
if that was intentional, but I want to ask him about it.
I don't know if you're hyped seeing that goal, Fire fans, but I know we are. You could hear JTSM and his shouts after that one, and for good reason. That was a really beautiful goal. Now they just got to play some defense. Maybe put another goal up there.
I think they're going in.
This isn't the time to hit the brakes, and I wasn't sure if Jason was going to go in to take a shot, but instead gets demolished by Tomato. Not too many people get demolished by a Tomato, but Yanni, had a setup there, but Harry
was there.
Harry's going to see if he can do something.
The boy who saved the ball. Can we say that at SEU?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like Dan Rivera read Harry Potter, so it's okay.
I don't get the reference. I didn't read Harry Potter.
It was. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Dan Rivera thing. I think you were there. You looked at that.
I didn't get the boy who saved the ball reference because I was never. I don't know who that is.
It's fine. You're not.
Is it Harry Potter? Yanni looks a little bit like Harry Potter. Oh, here we go,
Not going to be able to see
JT.
it, but regardless of the goal for Sep, not going to get anything out of his tomato. Takes the ball away
So,
here.
Finn, here we go now.
Yeah.
2 minutes remaining. SEU in a really
Ooh,
good
that
spot.
was
And
a
as I
good
said
hit.
that, SEU now has to play some defense. And
Dude, that hit onto tomato just saved them.
oh my goodness, that was crazy. And now a couple of demolitions.
no,
And nobody was there, but a beautiful play by Vindigo.
He's got the boost.
Yeah, there was nobody
talent.
back there. It looked like both Jason and Yanni were demolished. Nobody else back there, and Vindigo had to make a play, and he did. That's something you love to see out of the young guy.
Goal's open. Johnny's back. Yeah, and I gotta say, just Vindigo rushing it the last second to block that is, that's the kind of stuff that you really want to see here.
So here we go now. 1 minute remaining. Can SEU hang on to bring this thing to Game 5? Down 0-2.
Up in the air. Here comes the minute 5 on the clock here. Still a lot of time for Rochester to make a play, but Vindigo says no.
And if you're new to Rocket League, this might be a good time to remind you of our overtime rules, if that is in fact where we end up.
I think that was intentional. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was intentional.
This is in case that's where we end up right now. It's basically just similar to soccer. It's golden goal, next goal wins, and you just keep on playing until someone scores a goal. So, you know, hopefully that's not where we end up. Hopefully SEU can take the dub here and bring it to Game 5 right now. But, you know, never count this Rochester offense out. I've seen some nice goals out of them tonight. And there you go.
There it is. You cast your curse at it.
Harry. And it was a
at what
pinch, it looked
happens, too.
like.
So it hits off of Yanni, and that's what sent it over.
Yeah, that wasn't going in.
That's that time. That's the third goal. Maybe the fourth at this point. I'd say it's fair to say fourth, where it's just good timing for Rochester and poor timing for SEU.
So the lesson of the night though has been, oh no. No way did that just happen.
Oh.
Jason just missed. It was a pinch off Jason. It got popped up in the air, and I don't know. Vindigo was.
He wasn't.
Vindigo was checking his Instagram. I don't know.
He had to check his.
He checked his DMs.
And, yeah.
Got a text from his girlfriend.
Gosh darn it, Amber. I think that's her name, right?
But SCU now with 7 seconds, kind of just forced to make a miracle here if they can.
2. That's actually good.
Oh,
and
they had a chance at it in the last second,
around.
but this one's gonna hurt a bit. It'll hurt a bit for me and you.
Yeah.
It'll probably hurt a whole lot more for these players. That's not what you want to see. SEU up 1 point Game 4 and losing it in the last 30 seconds.
That's so unfortunate. Like, oh my gosh, it
Dang.
happens. Let's be honest, it happens.
Yeah.
Goals get through, things happen. You know, it's that last one. It happens to everybody, but man, that is not what you want to see.
Rochester gonna advance to 3-0, while Southeastern University now sitting at 1-2. But don't worry, plenty of Rocket League left to be played in the season. We'll be back next week, Monday night, same time.
We will also be here on Tuesday of next week for what I'm super excited for. Overwatch 2 comes out tomorrow if you're watching this live. So we will have our Overwatch team playing their first ever competitive game on the new Overwatch 2.
Very excited.
I'm very excited for that.
We'll
really quick before we go, Winston, we know you just lost, but would you care to have a quick interview? We want to talk about good things. To be fair, we want to talk about some good things. You know.
So Winston, how does it feel to lose and be sitting at 1-2?
So Winston, do you want to say hi to your parents at all? I know they watch the stream.
Where's the camera at?
It's
Hey mom, hey dad, hey grandpa, hey grandpa.
Hey Winston's mom and dad.
Winston, really quick, I want to talk about that fake you did that had Yanni get the goal in game number 3.
Yeah, that
How was that communicated? How'd that go?
Were you just like, I'm
In
just
your
gonna
head.
fake it, or?
that was entirely calculated. Yep, I called that. No, in all honesty, the one you talked about might have been a mistake, but we had some few good fake
That's
plays.
right.
And it just happened to work out. It was a very unfortunate series of events with a lot of those plays on
No,
both
it
sides. you know?
really was.
So
It really was.
it's
That-
what
So,
it is.
do you want to, obviously heartbreaking, I bet right now. It's a tough loss, but
Tough.
do you want to talk about that last goal there that kind of just got popped up in the air?
Dang, you're really bringing
My-
up the tough questions.
Yeah, my life flashed before my eyes. I'm sitting there. They both hit it. Boom. It could have gone
Yeah.
anywhere on the field, and it just hit.
I know.
Right into our
Honestly,
net, so.
I will say that one you ran all the way back for, got that was a pretty solid save. That was the
Appreciate it.
last minute go and touch
Appreciate
it
it, need
save.
that speed,
So-
but-
But
Last question for you before
Yeah,
we
okay.
let you go. Do you have like a post loss ritual or anything? Is there anything you do after a loss? Like, do you go just kick back, just like play something else, just play like Mountain Band or something, or
he,
do
he
you
goes
just,
and plays
After
Destiny.
the
you just
loss,
take a
you
break?
Play anything but Rocket League.
Yeah.
after the loss. You needed to.
as as an esports player myself, I can understand that. After a Madden game, I just can't touch Madden for a year. So
Yeah.
probably why I keep losing games, to be honest with you.
But
Well, thank you so much,
thank you
Winston.
guys.
We'll see you
for it.
back at the dorm. But yeah, I definitely agree with Winston.
He's our
there.
roommate. That's
This-
why he said see you back at the
that-
dorm.
but I definitely agree with Winston that honestly that whole series could be categorized as a series of unfortunate events. I felt Neil Patrick Harrison there the whole time.
Yeah.
But with that said, next week is of course on the horizon. No hurricane in sight, which means things are looking bright. So until then, my name is Finberry,
My name is Austin Focus.
and we'll see you next time.